Hello. Okay, here I am. I've managed to do a second vlog in a week. I know it's just a couple of days over a week, but it's still there. All right. I've got my new setup. I've done a test. I can hear myself talk. But here's the celebration. Look, I'm going to show you my notes. It's day 180 on Friday. So it's day 182 today, actually. Whoop, whoop. Now, let's see if we can get any fireworks. Anyway, I use Google Meet for my work, and since I've started using that, it does things when it does more than that normally. So I'm not sure why it's not working right now, but let me just make this a little bigger. Don't mind me, just moving around on the screen. All right. So 180 days, and the update for Emma and I is that we have signed up to ourselves for another 90 days. So that started on yesterday, Saturday. So I'm pretty excited. Wow, I've achieved so much this year for myself. I haven't quit on myself. I've backed myself. Honestly, I can't even understand why it's been so easy in so many ways. I do think vlogging, I think there's always more than one factor, right? And I do think vlogging, in the beginning, I needed to vlog every day. And then once I'd gotten good and like it had served its purpose for me, I was vlogging every 3 or 4 days. And then I just hit this patch of work and some stress, but didn't change what I was eating at all. I didn't have enough emotional bandwidth and capacity mentally and emotionally to do all of it. So work always comes first, right? Because if you don't work, you don't eat. And pardon the pun. And then everything else comes after that. So in one sense of the word anyway. So I've got my notes. As you know, I love my notes. Got my pen. It's an electronic pen. This is an EMR pen because I use electronic. That's what I do for my work. But this little one is called a Books. And so you need an electronic pen with it. Anyway, what have I eaten? So I've got a bit of footage here and there over the last week. Not everything I ate in a day, even though, as I said last time, you could go back to my videos in month 3 and I'm eating month 3, month 4, month 5. I'm eating the same stuff. All right, but a few things of note in the last week. What have I got? Oh, the Big Egg Life wraps. I've made them 3 times, I think. 3 times. And I made them with powder because I've run out of my egg whites. I'm so glad, because that's the reason I went looking for a recipe, is because I was accruing egg whites in the freezer in bags. So I thought I need to find some recipes to use them up. And I've been wanting to make these Egg Life wraps for quite a while, even before this year. Anyway, we can't get them in Australia, so you either make them yourself or you don't have them at all. But I add seasoning, and when I don't add seasoning, then I can have them with, I don't have it here, a sweetened syrup. It's a Lecanto brand that I get from IHERB from the US. We don't have very many Lecanto brands here, unfortunately. So, but I've had it a while. I've probably had it a couple of years. I've had it a while. This one's called Golden Syrup. So, yes, there are a few dirty carnivore things happening which I'm good with. And I'm thinking I might even just tell you what's on my food list, because Emma and I have committed to another 90 days. But what I do each time for her and for me is we have a food list that we started with. And in reassessing and saying we're going to do another 90 days, we check to make sure, does our food list need to change so that we've got still a boundary to stick to, right? All right. Anyway, I'll show you some footage of these, the really big, I made them really big this time, egg life wraps. And I cooked some chicken and bacon and I made a wrap out of it. It was so good. I don't think I got a photo of the finished product, but I showed you, I think I videoed the cooking. Sometimes I forget at the end. So now, because I'm not doing it every time, every meal I was doing it before. So that's there. Or maybe I already showed it. Who knows? Then I went on a bit of a meat cookie few days. I've been feeling like mincemeat. Now, I told you about this before, but for anyone new, for the last few years, I've been buying or trying 80-20 mince, or ground beef, it's called elsewhere. And what I've discovered is it makes me feel sick, and I couldn't work out why. Until I actually started this challenge earlier in the year. And I can't remember what it was that triggered it to me now, but I decided to buy some lean mince, 90-10. So long story cut short, I don't feel sick. I enjoy it. I add my fat other ways. I'm doing high fat carnivore, but I cannot stomach the 80-20 mince. I don't know if they put really, the really bad quality fat in it or something. I don't know what it is about it, but I just, no. Nope. That's a hard no. No. Okay. So, and here's the thing. She's. Has anyone heard of She's? I know I played around a bit with lactose-free dairy cheese slices. I understand She's is not carnivore. This is one of the things on my list because I don't want to quit because I can't have a dairy substitute. And that's why I've been having plant cream all year. I don't talk about it much because I don't know, everyone seems to get really upset about it. But at the end of the day, I would rather do 99% carnivore and 1% something else than not even try and do carnivore because at the moment I need 1% something else, right? Something that's not carnivore. I call it scaffolding. If you've been around on my channel, you'll know the term. For me, I was never like this. Probably 10 years ago, I was never like this. It had to be perfect, or I couldn't do it, and I quit so many times because of this fact. And then I decided one day, where are the policemen and the policewomen that are telling me I have to do a diet that way, or what even? And I started questioning the very philosophy, I had set up for myself. And then you know what I did? I gave myself permission to change it. Yes. So that is why I would still rather do, and so I did keto probably 80 to 90% for several years. And I gave myself permission to do that. And when I needed to just have some more veg or, whatever it was, that's what I did. But I didn't let it stop me from then the rest of the time eating keto. And then I started finding out about carnivore, and then I started doing my version, which everyone in the end started calling ketovore. It wasn't called ketovore back when I was just eating meat heavy several days at a time, and then I'd have some veg. And then I'd do meat carnivore for several days at a time, then I'd have some veg. and it was tied into weight loss. I was trying to lose weight, and I was using that as my metric. So anyway, I explain this in lots of other videos. So this is why I have the philosophy I do. It's one of the reasons why when I started at the Carnivore Facebook group, I wanted it to be Dirty Carnivore, because I don't think anyone's perfect. You know, it's funny, you get so much crap if you have salt and pepper, but the majority of carnivores, as I've gone through all the pages, drink coffee. Coffee isn't carnivore. Neither is tea. I'm not criticizing. What I'm doing is saying it's interesting how those that criticize others drink coffee themselves, and yet someone's not allowed to add salt and pepper to their meal, or something else, avocado or whatever it is, which is why I just don't think you can judge people. I don't think we should judge each other. I think that you do you, I'm going to do me. And so anyway, I'll hop off my little soapbox. So these meat cookies, I got that word from Kelly Hogan. She's really cool. Love her. Check her channel out. I just basically, you know how ground beef comes in like a rectangle, it does here in Australia. I cut it in 4. I put it in bags, and then I just take 1/4 out. I sort of press it, because meat tends to swell like that, so I tend to press it down in the middle. I put the same shape of the sheeze, SHEEZE, pardon me. But if you're dairy, I wish I was dairy. Just add some Colby tasty cheese on top. It's like going to McDonald's, just no bun. I'm just looking at my notes. They were amazing. I've had them several times. Paul bought some pork and beef meatballs the other day, and he was making a curry last night, and he would put them in, but he kept some for me, and I put them in the air fryer, and I put a slice of cheese on them. I'll show you a picture of that. Anyway, I've been enjoying cheese on meat cookies, just mincemeat. I'm leaving shortly after recording this vlog and going and getting my 90/10 from Farmer Jack's, which is not far away from me here, because it's like half the price that mincemeat is in Coles and Woolies. And then I cooked some chicken. Now, I don't have chicken much, but it is nice. Hang on. My thing just turned itself off. 3 minutes, people. That is in a preheated Ninja air fryer. It's preheated, otherwise it would take longer. But I'm amazed. And it comes out like poached chicken, which is very tender. It's not dry. It's very soft. Poached chicken is amazing. I love poached chicken, but I didn't want to do all that. I was shocked at how great it was in the Ninja. So there was that. Where am I? Sorry, just missing my food pages. Hang on. Let me go back. Oh, I skipped a page. That's all right. I can still add them in. It doesn't really matter the order in which we do things, does it? Chicken salmon salad. So in the US, chicken salad is a thing, right? Over here, I'd never heard of chicken salad until I started following Erica. Oh, when she had VSG surgery. I can't remember it now, but loved her because I've had VSG surgery. And then, so chicken salad is really chicken breast with mayonnaise, all blitzed up with some other things in it, right? Over here in Australia, I grew up, we had what you would call tuna salad. I can't remember now what we used to call it, but it wasn't called tuna salad. And it's just a tin of tuna, and you mix mayonnaise and tomato sauce with it. That's what my mum did. And you would have it on toast, right? So I grew up with that. So sort of the concept of chicken salad I sort of went, yeah, I get it. Anyway, I recently saw the carnivore doctor. That lady, she's an eye doctor, and she was doing a sardine fast. And I've thought about it, but I don't think I could do it right now. Um, she used cooked chicken and a mixture of, get ready, sardines, salmon, uh, anchovy fillets. Oh, what else did she use? She used gherkin. I know. But this woman's been carnivore for I think over 15 years. I'm not sure. She's really great. I really love her Instagram, and she's got a YouTube channel too. Anyway, I thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to give myself permission to do it, because on keto I would buy dips, actual dips from the shop, and low carb dips, and I would cook salami, round salami slices, also prosciutto, and just all of those delicious things, and use them as chips, because you can make beautiful prosciutto long crispy chips in the oven. You don't bake them for very long, but yeah, they're really great. So I thought I'm going to blitz it up. So I just used pink salmon, red salmon. I bought some anchovies, but I didn't use them. I had sardines. I decided not to use them. And I used chicken. So I cooked in the air fryer some chicken breast, sliced it all up. And then I blitzed it all up together in my tiny little food processor. And I cooked some salami. I'll show you some footage. And I did put dill, gherkin, so no sugar, but those pickled cucumbers. I put some of those in there, and I had some when I had this particular meal. I sliced some up on the side, because I just wanted something so it wasn't too full on between the salami and the chicken salmon combo. But that was amazing. Bacon wrapped beef dogs. I had those one day. They were fantastic. And I had extra, and Paul ate them. He loves those. They're just a winner chicken dinner. You have to be careful how you wrap the bacon, right? You want to keep the rind, if you've got bacon rind on, you want to keep that on the outside so that it gets crispy and the fat gets crispy. And you want to overlap the actual loin part of the bacon so that it doesn't dry out. Okay, so just think about that when you're doing it. I used to make bacon bombs in the cafe when we were doing the whole paleo thing, and I would put bacon into a muffin tray pan, and then you make up your mixture and put that. It could be beef mince, pork mince, eggs, whatever else you're putting in there. Pop that all in. Amazing. But you've got to get the bacon fat side and the meat side tucked in and the bacon fat out, just so that you get all the right ratios of everything. Then I did have something more dirty carnivore than what you would think. It's the first time I've actually had this all year. I had chicken satay sticks. We went out in the morning for a special celebration, a special birthday celebration, and we had our granddaughter with us, just my husband and I. And I was sort of tossing up with the menu. Was quite Asian and quite interesting for breakfast. I could have had bacon and eggs, but I ended up going with these chicken sticks, and I had some of yes, I'm sure it had some sugar in it. I'm sure it did. The satay sauce wasn't very sweet, but I'm sure it did. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Now, I didn't eat I'll show you a picture. I didn't eat all the, and I also had some extra bacon, which was delicious as well. So I just had the chicken and the bacon, and some of the sauce. But I don't think I didn't eat all the herbs and everything. I could have, but I didn't. I didn't eat them. And then my regular, just showing you something I regularly eat most days: porterhouse strips, pork belly, fat crackle. This is it cooking, and this is it on my plate. And I had some boiled eggs. So actually, Paul boiled some eggs this time, and he gave me some. He boiled some eggs for a curry. Believe it or not, you can have a boiled egg curry. Yeah, they stay hot. Like, you cut them in half, and they're in the curry that way. You just make your curry base. I am going to make a curry soon, because my list for this 90 days is broadening a little bit. I'll get to that in a minute. I've got my list on here. So basically, my mum has been in ER for 6 days, and just after I vlogged last. So it's been a hard week, actually. Just seeing her getting older, and just she had a lot of pain in her head, and she's had to have CAT scans, MRIs, all sorts of things. So there's some things there. Just as a family, we're adjusting, and yeah, that's been tough. I haven't changed my diet. Nothing there has changed. I have a strong routine. I mean, I cook, I prep everything, as I've shared before. If you're new here, I do a lot of batch prepping, batch cooking, and then my meals take under 5 minutes to make, and they're crispy, fatty, salty, wholesome, hearty, delicious. I'm about to cook some beef stew. Yum. Anyway, so that was pretty difficult. I mean, it didn't affect my diet. Now, normally stress, I'm very emotional eater, so normally it would have, but it didn't. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I have all my food. I pull out things. I defrost them. I put them in my drawer in the fridge. I use the small drawer because there's 2 different drawers, and that's just where I go. Whatever I feel like eating, that's what I eat. My egg life wraps I keep in there. Anything special I keep in there. My plant cream I keep in there. My cheese or my lactose-free cheese, whatever it is I'm having. Anyway, so there was that. And that was hard for all of the family in the last week. But Mum's home now, and she's just recovering and healing, and so we're just hoping for good things there. I'll show you my vibration plate. I haven't used it for about, 6 weeks, because the top rubber thing had come off. I'd cleaned it all and glued it on again, and then it came off again. So then I thought, okay, I need to get this sorted. So I went through this whole process, ended up using terps. After a while of asking all the maintenance men in my life. Anyway, I'm going to show you a photo of it all cleaned up. I now need to do the liquid nails, another version. I bought a caulking gun and everything so that I can get this rubber matting back on the plate. Has anyone else had a vibration plate and have this problem? Please tell me your story and tell me what you did to fix it. Okay. I'm in the throes over the next few months. I'm going to be decluttering. I love being organized, and I've got some serious inbox issues. No, not really. It's so funny when you need to sort stuff out and you don't do it straight away. Bad. For Martine, not for you, for me. So I'm getting on to that. Non-scale victories, I just wanted to share. I was actually getting dressed this morning, and I again noticed a difference in lifting my legs. So I was 180 kilos roughly when I started carnivore in February, and I don't know what I weigh now because I haven't weighed myself after the first couple of weeks. But you notice by lots of things, and I've done a few videos and shared a few things. But lifting my legs was so hard, like so hard. Even my husband said to me, because sometimes he will just gently massage my ankles, right, who very gently, because my legs have had a lot of pain. And I've come to learn this year about lipedema, which I didn't really know about, and I understand the connections with all of that and with what I've got going on in my legs and the top part of my arms, really. But the pain is not anywhere near what I don't really have pain in my arms, but the leg situation and the knees is a whole nother thing. It's always more than one thing, right? Anyway, I'll keep it short. I just noted again, as I was even getting dressed this morning, how much it's even easier again now to lift my legs. Like it's awful to say it out loud, to be honest. I really struggled to lift my legs, eat one leg. Like you can imagine walking. Like I'm not, I can't walk far. I can't stand for long. Or I couldn't. There are changes in this space for me, and like I have shared that it had gotten quite bad towards the end of last year going to the shop. Like so I've shopped online for a long time, not for this reason so much, but it ended up has helped me in this space, because going to the shop and shopping for an hour and a half, or because I like to look and check everything out and be thorough. No, I haven't been able to do that for the last few years. So, and I must say, it's much more efficient shopping online with an existing shopping list. You just get what you need. And I love efficiency, very efficient. Love that. And I actually don't fret or dread going to the shop now. Like I'm about to go to the shop shortly and just pick up, I just want to get that mince, the 90-10, and I might see if they've got any nice bacon, because it's hard to get streaky bacon that's not so expensive and all of that. Anyway, so I'll go and look, and I'll share with you what I get. So let me carry on. What is it? Where are we at? Okay, 26 minutes. All right. Woo, get on with it, Martine. So I just, and when you notice something, when I notice something, it's really precious to me, because I'm not trying to notice it. It just happens. And I was putting my pants on this morning and I was like, oh, just, my legs felt lighter yet again than they normally do. So that was great. My knee is slowly improving. It absolutely is slowly improving, but I go and do things like have a coffee every now and again, or I had some butter last night with that syrup on those plain egg life wraps. So I make two types, exactly the same recipe. One, I don't put any seasoning in, and the other, I do put seasoning in, and I've got that slight savoury, like I put salt and pepper in one of them. Most of the ones I make, I just put salt and pepper in. Paul's eating them as well. He loves them. But I've made it twice without anything, so that I can have a little bit of that syrup on with some butter. I know, I shouldn't have the butter. I know. And Emma bought me, bless her, she bought me a little goat's butter. It's actually nice. But on a plain, you can't, they have no flavour. These egg life wraps, they don't even taste like eggs. They have no flavour. So that with goat's butter, that won't work for me. No. So I'm imperfect, and I'm imperfectly making my way through, right? I'm not 100%. I've been 100% for when I say that, we can't include plant. If we're including plant cream, then I can't say I'm 100%. I've been 100%, but I've been 100% in terms of all the food like that. Again, what definition am I using? Anyway, let's move on. I have been thinking about whether I should fast. I don't know. I'm not hungry. Like, it's 12 o'clock now. I need to go and pick up that mince, and I'll probably be hungry when I get back, maybe. Could I stretch it out? Yeah, my doctor told me several years ago, or about 3 years ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, that she didn't want me fasting. I had, after the VSG surgery, I really had some medical emergencies. Just trying to work out to make sure I eat enough. So eating every few hours if needed. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just it was not good. So she said to me, please don't fast right now. Just sort yourself out first. So I said, yeah, no worries. So I have not been retested or anything like that. I haven't gone and sort of discussed this again since. But I'm careful with fasting. I used to do a lot of fasting. I've done juice fasting. I've done spiritual fasting. I've done lots of stuff. So I actually love fasting, but I've just stayed away from it as per instructions. But anyway, that's me. I've had some nice food choices in the last week. I'm doing well. Please, thank you for, updating me how y'all are going. Just how are you going? How's the last week been? Have you tried any new recipes? Please give me a new recipe to try. I am loving. I'm just trying to think. I'm about to smoke some pork ribs. I've got some pork ribs, too, and it's just going to be salt and pepper. And I'm going to smoke them and not wrap them, but I'm going to just wrap them up to rest at the end. So that's going to be 5 hours. I was hoping to get it on earlier, but my day hasn't gone that way today. So I'm going to go. Let me know how you're doing, and if you've got any ideas of a good recipe I can make, that would be awesome. I am going to make also a hearty beef stew, and I'll let you know more about that once I've done it. All right, I'm going. Sending you love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And there's the thumbs up, the official thumbs up. You see that? Whoa. All right, I'm going. Bye. I forgot to tell you my food list. So for the next 90 days, this is the food list I've committed to. All animal proteins and products. So I haven't, salamis and even bacon would come into that category and those sorts of things. I've not restricted myself from having those, even though there's another layer of health or lack of health in those spaces. I've not restricted myself. So all animal products and proteins are on my list. Coffee, tea, matcha green tea and herbal teas, that's all on my list. Herbs and spices, that's all on my list. Sprite Zero. I gave myself Coke Zero in the first 3 months, but I never had it. I hardly ever had it. Sprite Zero, because of the caffeine and just, not having coffee, I connect that to the Coke Zero. And again, I know some of you have been like, what is wrong with you? Why are you having it? It's really bad for you. I get all that. I understand. This is just my list of what scaffolding I need to get me. I'm trying to get to the end of the year, right? That the big goal is to get to even next February. It will be a year then if I can get to next February and stick with my carnivore, my dirty carnivore, which is, I feel really good about it. My conscience tells me this is what it is. I'm happy with that. And we've got to live by a conscience. You've got to live by yours. I've got to live by mine, right? So, excuse me. I haven't been well the last week. So I've got a little bit stuffed up. Plant cream / oat milk, whatever combination of that I need. I basically only have it in tea and coffee, but I have had it with crushed pork rinds, that cereal with cinnamon. That's awesome. I've given myself, again, I did this in the second 90 days. I gave myself one keto dessert / muffin / keto cake, like a mug cake, a fortnight. I only had it, I don't know, a few times in the second 90 days. I've kept it on my list. I'm keeping it on my list. I've made it per week, once a week. And I can have half of it and half of it later, whatever I want to do there. So that does include almond meal, and a sweetener is in there. Obviously, because of the Sprite Zero, the sweetener is in there, right? So that is my list. I have been thinking about adding carrots. Not because I want to eat carrots with my meal, because I don't. But, red wine. I got to put that on the list because I made a beef. I don't know if we could call it a stew. It was beef and broth, and I cooked off some red wine at the beginning because it adds a lot of flavour. Cook the alcohol off, and because I always would make that my beef stews, I always use red wine. A touch of balsamic vinegar. You'd be amazed how much depth of flavour comes from balsamic vinegar. Broth, and then you've got your veggies and your beef. So I love savoury beef. I love it. I love a stew, tagine, whatever you want to call it, curry. I love all those casserole type things. So, and I decided, a couple of months back, it was maybe 3 months ago, to make a dish like that, but just use broth, cook off some red, little bit of red wine, maybe a cup, cook off, add, all the rest was broth, and just put the meat in there. So that's what I did. And I want to do that, but I was thinking about blending some carrot with some broth. Now, I will know whether I'm going to react to carrot. I don't think I do, but one of the blessings of carnivore this year has been the feedback loop is very fast, right? Even with my knee, not even having those issues when I started carnivore, it started a couple of months in, I think, roughly. And so then working out what is going on, what inflammation, what is my immune system reacting to, is that what it is? Just all the things, right? So I love the feedback loop. This is my real life, so I have to live my real life as well, right? So what is working, what isn't working, and ideally I would love to be ketovore. That would be my happy space, is to be mainly carnivore with the odd vegetable. I could totally. That's how I feel now. I could feel differently next year. I could feel like I just want to do carnivore, and I think we have to give ourselves permission to go through those seasonal changes. So, but I haven't put carrot on my list yet, and I'll let you know what I decide. But I am leaning towards putting carrot on my list so that it's an option for me to purify it. I don't want to eat carrot with my meal. That's not what I want to do. I actually don't want to have a vegetable on my meal right now. That's not where I'm at all. And it might be in the future, but it's just not where I'm at. I don't want to add veggies to my meal. No. Could I put lettuce in a wrap? Yeah. Anyway, that's not what we're talking. Yeah. I was wondering if it would add some depth of flavor and would just take that to the next level, because I'm not having anything else in there except meat. So that's what I'm thinking. Just letting you know that, because I'm going to give myself permission. If I decide to do it, I will give myself permission and write it on there. Emma and I have given each other our lists so that we're accountable to them, because that's just how we roll. But yeah, I forgot to give you that. So now I'm going, and that's me and my list. Feel free to share yours. Bye.